Hi YouTube, it's me Tifal Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another Korean toy reviews. Yes, exotic transforming toys from the Far East. That's why I put that Eastern Exotica thing on my channel. Doesn't mean anything else, it means exotic toys from the Far East. Anyway, so the toy I've got to show you today, you've seen an unboxing video on it a few days ago. It's a repaint of a Korean toy that I've already got a mould of, a version of. I've passed over it many times in the past, and more recently I've changed my opinion on it and decided to get it. But the version I've gone for is what's referred to as a facelift version, and the facelift is a slightly restyled or reworked version of the mould because of licensing deals with an official manufacturer, and so they changed the mould and came up with this new version for the reissue of the original toy. But anyway, before we get onto the toy itself, let's have a look at the packaging. Now, the toy I've gone for is Hello Carbot S.W.A.T facelift. So here's the box. As you can see, it's quite a not a particularly thick box, but it's quite large. Now, this is the S.W.A.T is a repaint of Hello Carbot's Velastar Sky, and I have the original one because I've got her box here, and this is the original one. Now, the original Hello Carbot figures from season 1 were licensed Hyundai alt modes. So you can see it's got the Hyundai logo there. You can see there's a Hyundai logo on the front of the vehicle and on the back. 1/20th scale Hyundai Velastar. It was all fully licensed and really good toy. Now, this is the original packaging from 2015, which is when this figure first came out. And it's interesting to compare it with this reissue packaging. Now, size-wise, they're about the same size. This one's a little bit thinner, but the main difference is if you look on the original box, it's got a large plastic window with a plastic clamshell inside which holds the figure. Now, that's not very environmentally friendly. The new style Hello Carbot packaging is more like this. It's just pure cardboard with lots of, pretty pictures on it, and then inside they've gone for the more environmentally friendly cardboard runners that the figure comes in rather than a plastic clamshell. So that's good, but it's still a very large box to be holding a figure in. But anyway, these are quite large figures, so let's have a look at the gal herself, because she is a fembot. She was the token fembot from season 1. And here she is in her alt mode. Now, this car mode was based on the original Hello Carbot Sky, or Velastar Sky, and then you can see it's got the Hyundai branding on it. And it's it says was it 1/20th scale, so it's an actual realistic scale model of a real world vehicle, and that's what attracted me into the Hello Carbot toy line in the first place, because they were doing these fairly detailed, large scale versions of real world cars that actually transform into large leader class scale bots. And it's got a lot of decent detail. I mean, if you look inside the wheels, you can see like a molded brake disc and caliper. It's got a large grille, transparent lights, painted details, like little black bits on the flute. But we're not talking about this version of the mould, we're talking about this version of mould. Now, in the original show, the original season 1, the Hello Carbot figures, towards the end of the series, later on in the series, they can do this thing whereby they can change their look. They can, like Transformers can rescan a new alt mode, Carbot figures can rescan new colours for their existing alt mode. And they generally had an emergency vehicle sort of alternative paint scheme that they could scan into automatically. So Sky's original form is like this, but then when she sort of rescans herself, she becomes this. Now, obviously, you know, she becomes this this SWAT car, and you know, it's got like the bull bars on the front. It's got like the police lights on the top. It's got the big SWAT branding on the sides. Very dark, very serious looking, you know, sort of police vehicle. But you know, still, you know, based on the unusual three-door sports coupe that the Hyundai Veloster was. But anyway, but she also, in this form, she formed part of the Penstorm Combiner. And I have the Penstorm Combiner, so here is the Penstorm Combiner Sky SWAT. Now, this car is styled in the original version. Hasn't got, well, it's still got the Hyundai branded on the back. But if you look at the styling, and this is well, okay, let's carry on with this. I'll get into the whole facelift thing in a minute. But anyway, it's got chrome wheels. It's still got no transparent lights, and this turns into a limb. So for the combiner, so yeah, it comes up like that, goes back like that, and then there's a little clip on the side. You open it up, and then there's a little flap there. You plug the arm in, and it becomes an arm for a robot, like so. It becomes an arm for a giant combiner. So that's all that does. But you know, it's still got a decently appointed vehicle mode. But obviously, in the original show, they did the rescan from civilian to, you know, sort of emergency vehicle mode. But also, this is the facelift model. This is the facelifted version. Now, these Hello Carbot toys have been reissued a bunch of times. You had the original one, which came out, like I said, in 2015. And then a couple of years later, they reissued them where Choirock or Sonocon, the company that was making these toys, didn't want to pay the Hyundai licensing fee anymore, so they did away with it. And then what they did initially was they removed the Hyundai branding and they put the Carbot sigil on the cars instead. And that was all well and good for like the second reissue of the toys. But then, obviously, Hyundai must have got in touch with them and say, well, look, okay, it's all right you changing the logo on the cars, but it still looks like a, you know, a Hyundai Veloster. So they wanted them to restyle to change the styling on the vehicle modes to look more like a fictitious vehicle rather than, you know, a Hyundai Veloster. So that's what they did. So this figure has had subtle styling tweaks done to the vehicle mode to make it look different. For instance, they've restyled the wheels. It's got different design for the wheels. If you look on the front, obviously the SWAT version has got these bull bars on the front. I mean, I can use this as an example. And they've changed the fluting on the bonnet. It's slightly different. The lights are the same, but these bits down here are different to the original. And then you go on to the side, and you've got the front fenders or wings are the same. But then you've got the doors. They've put there's like a styling flute they've put in the door there, which isn't on the original. The rear door's the same, and then you go to the back, and you can see that the bumper's been restyled, the tailgate's been restyled, and it's just subtle styling tweaks like that. So they made changes to the car to make it look suitably different, you know, from the original version, and that's what the facelift is. And it's like the third reissue of the toy. They've just made styling tweaks to the alt mode to make it look less like the original vehicle that it was based upon because of, you know, licensing reasons. So anyway, so we've done that. We've got Sky, facelift Sky in hand, you know, black SWAT car. Now, before we start going to the transformation, there is one other alt mode comparison I want to show you. Back in season 9, the original Carbot figures got reissued for the Penstorm X line. So you had they all got reworked. They got their X versions, and they got restyled for the new style Penstorm X Combiner. Now, all the others, like Fron, Dandy, and Ace got reworks for their emergency vehicle modes, which was fine. But poor old Sky, when you consider her original Sky alt mode was like this, they gave her this. This ugly carbuncle on wheels. Now, yeah, okay, she's supposed to be a SWAT truck, which is a very serious, business-like vehicle that's supposed to go into terrorist and criminal and riot situations and do the business, basically. But I mean, come on. She was the token fembot from season 1, and they have introduced other fembot characters throughout the series, but why did they do this to her? Why did they give her this hideously ugly alt mode when she had this sweet looking alt mode in her original form? It's like, why? I feel sorry for Sky, them giving her this. And I don't like this thing. I really don't. And it was one of my worst bots I got last year, simply because the aesthetic on it is so bad. But yeah, so yeah, Sky SWAT X, no. Ugh. I don't like this styling. Some people think this is a good toy, but I think what they did to her, so much disrespect for for Sky in giving her this alt mode in season 9 with the Penstorm X design. Anyway, so that's all that done. Let's get to robot mode. So, being an original Carbot, transformation's quite simple. There is a feat. It does have weapon storage in this mode. The gun pegs together between the legs, and she also has something stored away in the third door. So the door's open as part of the transformation. So the door's open, but there's another door in the back here. So it's got 3 doors, and that's a feature of the Velastar. It's an unusual sort of coupe that's got 1 door on the driver's side and 2 doors on the passenger side. It's really unusual. So inside we've got the nightstick, which comes out. Now, strangely enough, it only fits in one. Well, it will go in both ways, but one way it's really loose, and then you flip it around the other way. Flip it down around the other way, and then it fits in properly. Don't know why it's like that, but anyway, the nightstick goes in there. So shut the door, and then shut the doors. So transformation. Again, you can start by opening the doors. Then take the roof section. It plugs in at the back and at the front, and it's on a hinge joint in the middle. Then you just move that up. Then you can split the legs, and the gun, remove the gun between the legs because weapon storage. Then bring out the feet like that. So on a double hinge, and then fold the wheels in to the shins, and that's the legs done. Then the top half, you've got the front fenders. Just pull them out on these links like so. Then lift up the hood. Well, you pull this section out, and then it hinges round, and then the head pops up. Oh, so it hinges round and then the head pops up, and then there's a peg under there that plugs into here, that goes down and plugs in like that, and then just reposition the arms, and then finally you've got this piece that's got a plug and a peg, and that goes up and that just plugs into the back there. And there we have S.W.A.T facelift in robot mode, and looks really cool in these colours, don't you think? Now, the thing about the emergency vehicle repaint is when they rescanned or recolored, recolored themselves into their emergency vehicle modes, their head sculpt changes. Now, being a Transformers fan, if you repaint an existing mould into different colours and give it a different head sculpt, that automatically makes it a different character, not the same character. So, unless it's from a different toy line, obviously. But she's got this very business-like looking head sculpt. It's got like a digital monocle. It's got like a face mask and a silver visor for a rubber mask. It's like a helmet, like a special forces sort of like helmet. Now the original Sky, just give me a moment to transform it. I'll show you the head sculpt on the original Sky toy. Right, so there's Sky with her original head, and there's S.W.A.T with her head. So you got that, and then you've got that. So yeah, they did that in season, well, with the original Carbot figures in season 1. When they rescanned themselves into their emergency vehicle modes, they got different head sculpts as well. And I wasn't too happy with that, which is part of the reason why I skipped over the emergency versions of the figures back in the day. I didn't bother to get them. I just got the original, sort of normal coloured vehicles. And I got versions of the the emergency vehicle scans in the the Penstorm Combiner, because they all came in their alternative colours. So anyway, but all that said, this figure looks really good in these colours. I mean, there's the original bot, and you can see, yeah, it looks totally different. And with a different head sculpt, like I said, it looks like a different character, even though it's the same. But it is really, really cool looking figure. And like I said, originally I passed over this, but then more recent times I've mellowed and decided I wanted to get it, and it's been on my back burner for a long time. I decided this month it was a chance to get it, and I wanted to get the facelift version because I haven't got a facelift version of any of the original figures. So I thought, this would be an excuse to get a facelift version of one of the original molds and have it in a figure that's actually good to have. So anyway, so I got hold of S.W.A.T facelift. Like I said, really cool looking robot mode. Looks awesome in this black and this sort of slatey grey colour with a few silver and red accents. Obviously the different head sculpt, you've got the S.W.A.T logos on the wings. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could fold the doors back like that to make it look a little bit more business-like. But they're supposed to have the doors out. And also, now, accessories on this thing. You've got the gun, which is kind of like like an automatic sort of rifle type thing. It's got magazines coming out both sides, and it's got an angled peg. Oh, there you go. Okay, it's got a bit that folds out there as well, like a stock. And because her hands are slightly angled, that's why it's got the angled peg. So it plugs in, and I mean, you can have it over like that. And it looks like that, or you can bring over the other bit. And yes, you can have it in either hand. That's fine. And you've got the nightstick, plugs in, doesn't extend. It's just a fixed thing, so it's even neither here nor there. It's in the grey plastic as well, so that plugs in. And then she does have another feature, The backpack can come off, and she can have it as a riot shield. So it's got a peg that comes out. We can plug that in, and then she's got a riot shield. So, you know, she can have a baton in one hand and a riot shield in another, and then she can go wading into a riot to restore law and order. So yeah, got that. I think, is there another way you can attach this? I'm not sure. No, anyway, so yeah, so it's got a peg so that you can plug it into the arms. And that's a cool little feature. But anyway, let's talk about articulation. Now, this is a Carbot figure from the original toy line. They're reasonably articulated. They're not the best. It's got the usual limitations of a early Korean, you know, figure. Even though the Hello Carbot figures were a little bit more articulated than most. So she has got a head rotation. It's kind of limited. It can only go side to side a little bit. The shoulders, there's a joint there. There's a joint there, so you've got a little bit of movement. The shoulder piece can move as well, so it's all transformation joints that you can mess around with. No bicep swivel. Elbow goes to 90 degrees. No fist rotation. She hasn't got a waist. No, the waist is fixed, mainly because of, you know, the transformation. Now, the hips. She can do the full Van Damme. Now, bringing it forward, it does sort of collide with the waist bit, so it only goes forward that far. And then coming back, it hits the backpack. Now, being an early Carbot figure, thigh swivels are standard. They were standard on Carbot figures with thigh swivels, so that's good. So, yeah. Knee. About 45 degrees on the knee. It doesn't really go back that far. They could have put a cut out there to get a bit more out of it. And then the foot is on this joint. So it's got backwards and forwards on the foot. So, you know, that toy guy's always complaining that, yeah, it's all right having a side rocker, but they've got to have the backwards and forwards tilt. So she's got the backwards and forwards tilt. But no ankle tilt. Does have the angled cut on the heels, so, you know, to give it a neutral A stance. So yeah, that's it. It's a cool looking figure. The only other comparisons I need to do now to wrap this review up. First of all, obviously, size comparison with my usual size comparison figure, Combiner Wars Megatron. And as you can see, she's a solid leader class scale bot when leader class meant something. And if you just give me a moment, I'll transform the the S.W.A.T X to give you a comparison. Right, so S.W.A.T original design, S.W.A.T X. Now the robot mode doesn't look too bad, but still, you know, it's a very sort of blocky thing. And then obviously being an X figure, it's more of a Voyager class than a leader class, and you can see the size difference between the two. They do have similar head sculpts. S.W.A.T X again has got like a helmet with like a digital monocle and a face mask with a yellow eye plate, and then this one's got a silver eye plate with the silver face mask and the digital eyepiece, or, you know, the monocle. Yeah, I'm still not a fan of this design. The robot mode's a little better, but again, this was designed to work as part of a combiner. And as such, it's got like where is it? It's got well, that's the fist basically. That's the fist of the combiner. It's a bit silly how. And also, it's only got like the one S.W.A.T logo on this one. It's not like got those massive, great those S.W.A.T logos like this one has got, you know. So anyway, that's that. The original mould Sky S.W.A.T, but the facelifted version. It's a decent figure. It's really good. It looks really cool. And the one thing, another reason why I wanted to get this is because this is one of those rare occasions where you get a Korean transforming robot that, given its design, it can double up as an analogue for a Transformers character. Now, who do you think, out of all the Transformers, you know, characters there's been, who do you think this looks most like? Don't you think it looks like Barricade? Couldn't this be an analogue for Barricade? I think so. I mean, look at that head sculpt. You know, look at this mean-looking, you know, grey and black, you know, sort of robot mode. I think this works as an analogue for a Barricade, and that's another reason why I got it. You know, if you was to, you know, you could easily say, no, this is Barricade. You just have to change a few decals to put the, you know, to enslave and punish on the rear wheel arch and put his, you know, was it 643 number on the door and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, so I think this would work as an analogue for Barricade, and that's another reason why I wanted to get one. But anyway, this review's over. I've said all I want to say about this thing. It's a cool looking figure. The Sky mould is really cool figure, but in these colours it probably looks a little bit cooler. Very mean looking bot, quite chunky and hench. But you know, really cool, decent to play with. Not the most articulated thing, but looks really cool. And yeah, a good addition to anybody who likes to collect, you know, Korean toys. So that's been my review. That's my reviews done for this month. I know I've hit 800 subs. It's ducking and diving in and out of 800 subs at the moment. I'm going to give it a little while longer. Let it creep up into the 800s good and proper, and then I'll do my 800 subs review video. And it's not what you think it is, because from 800 onwards, that was when the TF Nation 2017 discrepancies crept in and affected my bot numbering system, because something happened at TF Nation 2017 where I made a number of mistakes in my bot numbering, and that then affected everything going forwards. And I didn't notice the fact until I was in like the 1100s, 1200s, and then it was far too late. So my 3 remaining centenary, you know, sort of subscriber reviews are affected by this, and yeah. So you got that to look forward to, hopefully next month. So anyway, with that said, I've been 25 Wilderness. Thank you for watching. If you stuck it out to the end, this video's run out to half an hour. It was a bit long for a Carbot review, but like I said, because of all the comparisons I did with the other figures, that's why this fleshed this video out. So this is it. I've been 25 Wilderness. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.